one of the big problems with the ability, or with the runes as they were. And it could have been fixed, but you know, there was really, I don't think there was a more elegant way than they could do it than this. And they said that there were like, I think the number was around 3,500 different runes, because you had seven different rune levels. Multiply that by, say, roughly 20 skills per class. And then, of course, you have 5 classes. You know, that number multiplies up quickly. And that causes, you know, granted, you don't have to hold all those drops, you could trade them, sell them, whatever, but when you think about how much space that's going to take up in the database for the game and what they could be using it for other items and stuff like that, that number adds up to a lot of storage space for the game and item drops, you know. Granted, it's all in a database, it's probably all mostly text, but I mean, you look at World of Warcraft and how long that game's gone, and they started running into space issues with certain things, certain UI elements, that they had to be creative to free up. Hello there, buddy. Come back here. You know, you don't want to... Oh, that arrow is really seeking him out, isn't it? You know, just because you've got a quick fix now doesn't mean it's not going to cause a problem later, and that's one of the big things. You have to kind of think the long term. You know, is this change you're about to make, is this going to be detrimental to the game later? You know, you may have solved the problem now, but down the line, and if you want to expand on something, is there going to be an issue? Is it defiled grave? That's new. Oh, hello. Some rare monsters with frozen. That one's got knockback.
Not enough hatred.
Oh, it's got my elite kills up. That's nice. Damn, that was a nice find. Few monsters, and I got a few blue items from that. Alright, what have I got? This is 1 to 3 fire with 9 damage. See, that's enough of a difference here with about 3 DPS difference and plus the fire damage as well, that I really think I'm going to go ahead and use that. So we go from 10 to 14, so decent damage increase. Going to lose the XP, that's fine. I will definitely have to start crafting right away to get more experience gear. Oops, sorry about that, I was trying to clear that. Oh, scavengers. Alright. Man, these guys are tough. A lot of hit points on these rare monsters now. Oh, wow. Look at that. I just took 50% damage from all that.
I am too late. The blacksmith's apprentice is dead. I must let hatred know when I can.
Gosh, I might actually be able to die here on normal mode. Oh look, you can see them burning from my ability there. Very nice. From my, oh. I like Hungering Arrow. I really like Hungering Arrow. Okay. I'll stop gushing.
Not enough hatred.
It'll be really nice to see if there's going to be danger coming up ahead as far as damage goes. You know, they're not, when they do things like that and they said they've done a tuning pass or something like that, they're not very specific with what exactly did they change. Usually because there's far too many changes to really put in patch notes unless you want to read a volume. They probably may not have also recorded every single little change that they made, because usually when you're in a phase like this, you're doing beta, they're probably changing things a lot, going through multiple iterations, and with that you can sometimes lose track of exactly what changes happened when, and it makes it hard to put it through an exact build note like that. You know, honestly, it's not that big, probably not that big of a deal right now because it's not a fully released game. And of course, you usually don't see big changes like that after a game is fully released. You know, unless there's some serious glaring issue. Anyway, I am starting to run out of inventory space. Is it me or do scavengers seem a little more aggressive than before? Alright. Am I close to getting there? Alright, let's do this. I'm going to make a beeline for the next area. Just so I can unload my inventory. And I'll come back out here. They travel quite a while before they end up bouncing back if I miss, but I do like the fact that I was aiming over here and it still came back and hit them up there. It even bounced on from the log to the grave. That's interesting. Okay. This is hitting so often and bouncing. I'm really not seeing the need, I'm not feeling the need to have to use rapid fire that much. Apparently, I've gained another rune, Impact. I didn't see which ability that was for, I'll find out here in a moment. Let's look. It's not Hungering Arrow, it's not Bola. Looks like it's for Impale. So, what have we got? 250 weapon damage. Impale will knock the target back and stun them for 1.5 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and choose it, just so we can see it in action. A knockback and a stun. See that being really useful for bigger monsters. And since I'm already doing a lot of damage with Hungering Arrow, because a lot of the monsters are dying fairly quickly, especially because it's jumping around a lot, I may not be spamming that on little targets, so, you know, those of you that, you know, have mentioned, you know, use your hatred more, and that, you know, honestly, we'll see how it goes, how it feels, because right now I feel like the killing potential is working really well, even without using all of my hatred all of the time.
It grieves me to tell you this, but your apprentice has died.
Fool boy. Hope for the worst and you will not be disappointed. Thank you for the news.
It's interesting that most of the runes look kind of alike, but the order that they appear in is slightly different. Like that one, this one here is, instead of being here, is here. So there's really, I don't know if that's intended. It looks like it might be. So it's not like the runes of Diablo 2 where every single rune always had, you know, the same look and style to it. You know, an L rune was always an L rune. Alright, let's get rid of my white trash. It sounds bad when I say it that way. Okay. Ooh, did that change any? Looks like it's got a slight glow to it.
Not enough hatred.
Okay.
I worked my hands to the bone.
Let me go ahead and do a little bit of salvaging here. Oh, I can't yet. And I can't unlock a new slot yet either. I am full. I really think that's more expensive. I will have to go back on my footage and look because it's... Alright, no problem. One thing I didn't mention in any other playthroughs is your number of tabs has been decreased by roughly half. They did remove about 3 of them. They did that again. I was talking about storage space concerns because of the random generations. You know, all these items have very unique identifiers on them because they all have different stats on them. It's not like Warcraft where item A is item A and item B is item B. You have item A, you know, 3, A2, A prime. At least we're clear enough right now to keep going. I really should get that crown quest done as soon as possible so that I can start salvaging. It's tempting just to go ahead and sell some of those items right now. Let's take a look at that. Oh, maybe not. A little bit of the knockback. Unless they die. See, that 55% pierce chance is really making this generator very useful even on it by itself. You know, you don't need, the need for the spinders is not as high because of it. There you go, knockback and stun, finish him off. It feels good. It feels really good, actually. I mean, it's the same skill, but it does something different. You know, it's okay, it's not as exciting as unlocking a new skill or ability. You know, like getting a level, gaining a new skill, great. You know, I'm getting a level and I'm upgrading a skill. Well, you know, that still feels kind of good. Okay, she was... The vomit was still there even though the monster was dead. That's kind of creepy. You know, not quite the same feeling, but when you consider that you have 60 levels to spread things across, there's still that, you know, kind of excitement of what you're getting. Wrong target. Back off. Snare you, knock you back, or kill you. Either one works. I suppose what's really interesting here too is to see what order they give you the runes, because we've seen the rune systems, we've seen the calculators before they were random drops, so you had a potential to get any rune first. Now they're in order, in a very specific order, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what kind of abilities and mechanics they introduce a new game or two, you know? In this case I've got, alright, they're starting pretty simple with the Demon Hunter. My first rune just enhances the passive. Instead of a 30% chance, you got a 50% chance to pierce. Then, you know, we're moving on a slightly more advanced now. We've got Impale. Same damage, but you're knocking them back and stunning them a bit. So you can combine that with the abilities that they've already given you that are defensive, like Caltrops, you know. Slow them down, then knock them back. Great. Let's see. Level 8 should be my next new ability. Anything good here? Not really just yet. So I'm trying not to ramble too much, but you know, honestly, there's a lot of information when you think about it of what's been changed. And honestly, I really like this new system. You know, I really don't understand the argument that people say that it removes customization. This is enhancing customization. Simply because now you can at any point choose which ones you want, you know, on the fly. You don't. If you have a build in mind, nothing sucks more than having a build that you want to make and not being able to make it because you had to wait for just the right random item to drop. And it wasn't terribly bad in Diablo 2, but there were some builds that you really couldn't do without certain items to get the skills that you needed to make the build work, you know, and some people like that, you know, granted, I'll give you that. But it doesn't mean there aren't still items that can help you make your builds better. So there's still going to be, you know, items that you really want. But now we have so many more customization options because we don't have to wait for drops. We don't have to wait for that level 7 rune to drop because, you know, the only rune that we got of the color we wanted was level 3, and now that's not good enough because it's not doing enough damage or not, its utility's not high enough. Now you just get the skill, it stays at its maximum level. I mean, to me, again, I just really don't understand the argument behind, you know, it not being as customizable. You know, there's so much potential here, with each rune possibly being a new skill in a way. I mean, of course, if you feel differently, I mean, you can feel free to post. I mean, I haven't read a lot of them on the forums lately. I might look into them just to see what the argument is, but most of them haven't really seen an argument that was compelling about it. Stun you. Now these rares and uniques
Not enough hatred.
definitely have a lot more health now.
The tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the living will yet restore the lives that were ripped away from them.
Alright, so I'll apologize a bit for the rambling. But you know, if you like the conversation, if you like thinking about these things, such as game design, you know, and where all these things can lead, you know, I'm more than happy to keep talking as well. So honestly, I haven't really gotten a feel one way or the other from comments. A lot of people have been generally receptive and positive, so I imagine my ramblings must be enjoyable to someone somewhere. I'm taking damage, and it's not a heck of a lot still, but it is there. I'm feeling it more than I felt it before, anyway. Again, that could just be because I don't have hand-me-down gear. Well, this area turned out to be fairly large. At least I'll be getting the crown soon. Definitely looking forward to getting this footage up on YouTube and seeing what people think of it. You know, two things I'm interested in. You know, what do you think of the Demon Hunter with the enhanced damage now? Our damage buff has felt pretty nice here so far. You know, and what do you think of the rune system? You know, now that you can see it in action, now you know how it works, how you unlock it. The fact that it replaces skills for leveling up at certain levels, and that it allows you to earn stuff from level 30 to 60. You know, you have to consider all those things when you look at it and want to submit your feedback. And again, looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, what you think of these changes. But again, you kind of want to consider the whole package. There's definitely a lot here to go over, and reading the patch notes, I mean, it kind of spells it out for you, but really seeing it in an action compared to reading about it, a whole other ball game here. You know, be interested to see what you guys think of the new skill window. I, for one, am not a huge fan of it because it's the categories. I was kind of hoping with elective mode it might go back to the old system where I could just choose from a list. Or one thing that would be nice is to be able to just click on one of these and right click and choose an ability like I could do in the previous versions. That would be nice, especially with elective mode on. I can understand having that turned off when elective mode is not on.
I have a feeling that the crown is nearby.
But if I tell it that I want to have advanced customization of my skills, I would at least like to be able to change these on the fly just by clicking on them. Still let me make me slot it here, but let me right-click and choose which ones I've slotted into these areas here. Alright, here we go. Eagle Maw. Stun him. Slow him. Stun him again. With that stun, that was almost too easy. I'm liking this kit.
The unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper burial. This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it, and I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
Alright, here would be a place would be nice to have rapid fire, to be honest. Not a hatred already. Let's get the Guardians. They're really causing the problem here. There we go. First ring. Plus the damage. Always nice. Doesn't look like any major abilities. That's a little more DPS, but it lacks the fire damage, so I'll go ahead and keep my current bow. More protection on the boots. Be interested to, it says I can. It's kind of interesting to equip an axe. See what abilities I couldn't use anymore. Could probably still use Impale because it's a dagger now and not a massive shot.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
There we go, I just stopped him from doing whatever channel ability he was doing. Magic two-handed mighty weapon. Nice. Okay.
My training has paid off.
They've changed the icon here to reflect that it's a town portal instead of the Stone of Recall, because this would still show the Stone of Recall there. And I think the town portal icon was right here, but this was still the stone. So that's good. With that, we have unlocked our new ability here. 2 new abilities. I have apparently unlocked a rune for bola shot, as well as unlocked a new defensive skill. Let's look at evasive fire here. I will be slotting that because I'm not really using caltrips a lot. Well, I am using them, but that's because I was using this build to try and see how it felt. And it doesn't feel too bad, honestly. Caltrips, even at this level, are fairly viable, especially with the health boost they've given to some rare monsters. So, nice to see that. Let's look at evasive fire, as they did change that a little bit. Evasive fire, weapon damage increase. Alright, so as you can see here, it's 125% weapon damage. If an enemy is in front of you, you backflip, just like before. Difference is the weapon damage was increased from 115 to 125, so about 8% there. And the pathing for the flip, as well as the pathing for vault, has been improved, so they should be more useful in more situations. So let's go ahead and do this. As you see, it still generates 4 hatred compared to the others, which again are 3 and 3. Even entangling is 3. So this is the only one that looks like it generates 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Evasive Fire on, and I'm going to put Bolo Shot on with its rune to check it out. This is one of those instances where I would like to be able to swap these around, because I would rather have Evasive Fire as my primary and Bola maybe as my secondary, so I could do AoE with it. But let's see what kind of rune we get. Volatile Explosives. Increase the explosion radius to 14 yards. So, we're doubling, almost, doubling. We're doubling the explosion radius here. So, that's pretty nice. Let's try it out. Hit accept. Evasive Fire selected. Accept. Nothing for rapid fire yet. Okay, cancel out. Close out. So I have to hit here and tap 1 now for most of my abilities until I can change it. And obviously I could change it now, but I honestly think it's going to be interesting to play through here until 13 just as they intended. But what's nice is I now have a direct damage I can do. Alright, I'm going to go back to town. Okay. Let us first go to our merchant here.
I've found some interesting things on my latest
Sell
dig.
the white.
You should take a look.
I'm going to have plenty of materials. That much is certain.
You found the crown. Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. Should be no problem. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
Then we are allies. Each weapon you forge for me shall serve to purify these lands.
Alright, very good. So, I am 8. Next level will be nice where I can unlock my first archery ability. I'm looking forward to that because that's where we start getting to abilities I haven't played with before. So, yes, they did change it. As you can see here, the repair option has been removed from the blacksmith. It has now been placed on general vendors. Minor change, but still nice because then you don't have to go hunting your blacksmith. And it kind of frees this all up. And not only that, but it gives them more space. If they ever decide to do something else with him, they can put it down here. So he still has the salvage. Training and forge, as you can see here. They've adjusted the prices and materials. And so, oh, there's a bug. This is going off far to the edge as it shouldn't be. Let's see, craft 100, 125. They said in the patch notes for crafting that they did a tuning on these as well. Again, no specific numbers given. Looks like they all still cost 2 of the subtle essences. That makes sense. But the costs apparently have changed because there's 100, 125. Even though they're the same item, these costs I believe were pretty uniform in the last patch. Now, you know, 100, 100. So we've got a bow, fist weapon. So it looks like they've also kind of changed around what you can make. Let's see here, armor. Training 250, down from 500, so that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and start salvaging here real quick, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at it a bit. That's not a very good buff. Don't need any of these, even for other playthroughs it looks like. I won't worry about weapons for the time being. That's got no level requirements. I'll just hold on to that for the wizard. Might as well. Same thing for the witch doctor. I'm sure I'll find more. I just want to hold on to those for now. There we go, 15 essences, and I managed to also proc tooth and some bark. So let's spend a little bit of our gold, because this is far less expensive than trying to open up tabs. There's boots, crossbow, mantle, and morning star. Shield axe and breeches. Canvas quiver. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at that, because I might be able to make something there. And here we go. This will get him up to level 2. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, there we go. I can actually make one of those right away, although I don't have the second tooth yet. Required level 3. Okay. Let us be pretty quick here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time with crafting, since it's been done to death, especially with other videos. There's really not a lot different here. What can we make? Random properties here. I want to make a quiver. It's probably under weapons. There it is. As you see, yep, baseline damage 2 to 4. So this will definitely be something I want to make right now. I'll just go ahead and do that. It costs 150, 3 essences. I'm just going to make 1. Let's just go ahead and switch this out to can't equip, so it makes this a little easier to read. Use swords and shivs. You know, I would have to seriously look into a build for a melee witch hunter. Witch hunter. Sorry, demon hunter. I'm going to have to look in that, because, you know, some skills, like Impale, will let you use them without a bow. So there's got to be some kind of quirky build you can make with a melee weapon. Be interesting to look into it. Alright, this is much more damage, so we're going to craft one of those. As far as armor goes, let's just replace some of the... Let's just make some items for slots I don't have yet, like the helmet. That's pretty much it. What about items I don't have magical items for, such as glove, pants, and boots? Real fast, again, change this to can equip. Don't have a tooth. Pants. Gloves. Doesn't look like I can any boots here. Let's just go back up here. All yep, lowest level boots is level 9. Okay. Very nice. As you see, I mean, look at that. I mean, this is all items that I've found. No hand-me-downs, and I was already able to craft a decent set for myself right off the bat here. So we got 2 to 4 plus vitality, hatred generation by 0.52 increase, and plus on the maximum discipline. Decent buffs there, honestly, but of course it's the damage one that I was most interested in. It's brought me from 17 to 20 DPS. Here we go, 6 vitality and attack speed increase. Plus it's got 5 more DPS. Let's put that on. There we go, 29 actually gave me 10 more DPS. Strength. Well, I don't really need that. Gives me armor, I suppose. Hold on. Let's do this. Just one more. Make another helmet. Strength. Seriously? Okay. Let us salvage one. And I will wear it just because it is additional armor and has Magic Find on it. So let's just put that on. Pants with Vital. Plus 3 experience. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And Vital and all that. Alright, very good. A decent set. I didn't have to try too hard to get it. This is all from level 1. So even an apprentice, you know, a new player here can get into the crafting system and make a decent set. I mean, of course, it depends on if they sell their magic items. You know, I knew I was going to be crafting, so I saved all those magic items. Someone else might end up selling them, especially that early in the game.
How might I use the crown to reach the Skeleton King?
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
When he is destroyed, I shall finally reach the star.
Alright, I went ahead and went back to rapid fire. We've seen Impale with the rune. Let's go back to the cemetery so we can try and level up some more. Really, I honestly think people are less interested in the Skeleton King at this point and are more interested in seeing what the new skill system can do. Bolos looks like it's got like a black tint to it now instead of a red. You can definitely see the increase in the explosion. But you know, I'm really thinking you guys really you're here for the skills. That is pretty much my impression. Mainly because there's so much beta footage out there. I mean, even mine was kind of old hat, but I wanted to at least put it out there. Some people seem to like it. That's good for me, obviously. That's right, gotta hit 1 for my single target. And I'm more than happy to oblige. I honestly want to see the skills. I want to know what kind of abilities I'm getting into. Get a new skill slot soon. Which is great because before you had to be a little bit higher than level 9 to get that 4th slot. So once again they're giving you more options from the beginning of the game. Looks like we got the Bones event. Yes, we do.
Grave robbers have defiled my tomb. Now my husband writhes in torment because I do not rest at his side. Return my bones so that we may rest in peace.
Oh, I've got some rare imps over there. Let's get me away from him here. Bolo out.
Not enough hatred.
Ugh. Getting trapped there. I just barely got away thanks to evasive fire. Very nice.
My strength is back.
Yep, that skeleton hit the one right over there. So I'm definitely seeing the difference in Bolo. Nice big explosion, hurting all those skeletons around me. Got rid of a few of those imps as well.
The dead are at peace now.
So it looks like they still haven't changed this, so whether or not that's intended, I don't know. Would still like to see some kind of icon there, but who knows. It's 14. Nothing really there. Less damage. Okay. Let's go take a quick peek over here. Slight aiming issue there. Alright, apparently nothing over here.